against Trevor Baptiste. He scores!
Point blank, Trevor has won more than any other player in the PLL, which makes him de facto the best face-off player in the world.
Right, you look at him at college, he was one of the best face-off guys collegiately.
You know, I've been on the wrong side of playing against Trevor. It hasn't been very enjoyable the whole time.
His technique is unbelievable. His hand speed's ridiculous.
Not a lot of guys have, face-off guys have the stick skills to, run down the field, split dodge, score with their left hand, score with their right hand.
Hartzell, Baptiste for two!
Trevor sets himself apart in that category.
Trevor Baptiste, his first PLL goal is from distance.
It was at week 10 in Albany. He's talking to Boyle in the booth.
I gotta go.
He face-off wins, and then...
What was the difference on that one between the other ones? That's speed, boy.
That's who Trevor is. He's funny. He can have fun on the field, and then when it's time to play, he's strapping it up and he's bringing it to you.
Earhart creeping in, and he goes 5-hole.
He's definitely one of the best long poles in the world, if not the best long pole in the world.
Suffocating defense. Earhart got the last knockout.
Ground balls during face-offs, getting the ball back on a failed clear. Earhart seems to be everywhere.
He's just a complete 360 defenseman. He does it all. He defends, picks the ball up off the ground very well, and then he can come down and hurt you in transition.
When he gets the ball off the ground in transition, you have to know where he is, or else it's a 2-point goal.
Just steps into it, and look at the passion, the energy.
His edge, how he plays when he steps on the field, he's an animal.
He's one of those guys just commands respect, right? He does so much for his team.
But usually with someone with his size, they might fatigue, and he tends to be one of the best players in the fourth quarter.
And they've got numbers. Watch Earhart.
Looking for 10. He scores!
So when you see him celebrate, punch in the air, and how loud he's screaming, you really get a sense of how big of a lift that is for the team.
Hey, let's go, baby! Let's go!
It goes on right to the next face-off in the next play.
Connor Field. Wow! One hand over the top of Galloway.
Hollywood. Connor Field is Hollywood.
Why would you say he's Hollywood?
He's a living highlight reel.
Rolled back, gets to the crease, stops on a dive.
You need to pay attention at all times because you never know when it's coming.
Brings it out top side. Fake it behind the back, and he scores! Behind the back feed, behind the back goal!
That just goes to speak to you the kind of creativity that Connor Fields plays with and how dangerous he is, right? You can be all over him, but he's going to hit guys cutting with a behind-the-back pass or a shovel pass.
He doesn't pass behind the back. He doesn't shoot around the world. He doesn't fake low, fake high, fake left and right and decide not to shoot for any other reason than he thinks it's the most effective way to get the ball in the net or to his teammate. And so you take that combination of what he's done from a productivity standpoint on field mixed with his flair, he's got to be a top player in the world.
Now he's on his way to the net. Schreiber, the split, the score! Tom Schreiber checks in.
So Tom Schreiber he does things consistently on a field that we've never seen someone do before, and it's just become routine.
Schreiber! What a rocket!
He's just your complete player, right? His right hand, his left hand are very similar. He can throw passes on a dime. You can be draped all over him, stick in his gloves, and he's seeing guys.
Tom Schreiber's ability to dissect a defense.
If he were to just throw a regular pass, it wouldn't get through. But because he's thought about it, thought how the defense is going to react, he can just launch the ball sidearm without looking, and it gets through.
Whips it over, got it through, they score!
What makes Tom to me is he's the most unselfish superstar this sport has seen.
Schreiber, the no look and a quick spin.
Incredible stick work and shooting by Schreiber.
Schreiber from two, he scores! Pick set, Rambo fires and scores.
He won offensive MVP, championship weekend MVP. I mean, he had such an unreal year.
I'm not surprised, man. I watched it for years. He's gotten better and better and more confident.
And the league leader in points grabs another one. Come on, let's go!
Matt's the best attackman in the world because he's got the skill and finesse, he's got the vision.
Reminds me kind of like a bowling ball, just he's a big boy. He uses his body really well to lean into defensemen.
Rambo out in front, quick score!
When he gets to GLE, if you're not meeting him at GLE, it's too late, right? He had a couple highlight reel goals, the one at Hopkins this year.
Wow, he barely got himself out in front of the net.
Snuck it near a pipe when Tucker Durkin was all over him.
But I would anticipate this eventually get to the stick of Rambo.
As a coach or as a teammate, you want to get him the ball in those clutch moments.
And he scores!
In those clutch moments to find the best players in history.
Gets topside, Rambo scores! Red Snakes are the first to wear the crown, champions of the PLL.